Hi guys, Jed Skeptic Media here. Hope you are having a good weekend. I just thought I'd bring you a vlog because I deleted my last one. When I posted that last vlog, it was 3 AM. I was drained. I'd been spending the whole night and day with homeless people, interviewing them, trying to get good footage. And when I came back that night, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube and I felt like I should reply, but to be honest, I never had the energy, and I tried, and I didn't like it, so I've deleted it. So sorry about that, guys, but I'll bring you this one. I'll try and make up for it in this vlog, and try and give you a wee bit of energy before I go out there, because I'm going out tonight, and I hope it's the last night you're getting some footage, some dynamic shots, just to wrap up this homeless project. And it's been some experience, I've got to say, and it's not what you think. There's a lot of beggars out there. There's a lot of homeless beggars. There is homelessness, but there's a lot of professional beggars. They get help from the government, but just some people seem institutionalised to the street. Or some people are better off on the street. They make more money on the street. That's one of the things that surprised me about my city, how generous it is, how caring it is. Although when you're walking down the street and you see all these people walking past, maybe a homeless guy or a beggar, that's only in that moment of reality. If you stay there long enough, it's amazing what you can see, and you're amazing how many people come over and they're generous, give jackets, clothes. It's amazing what I've seen. So that's the biggest surprise, how compassionate the people in my city are. It's amazing. But the professional beggars kind of know this. They know this about this city. They know that it's quite a generous city, and that's why they're here. They know there's a market, so they play up on the emotions. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of like homeless guys. Well, I thought they were homeless guys that I felt totally sorry for. Some old guy in a wheelchair, or some old guy with a wee dog, and you just feel sorry for them. And they're the first people you want to give your money, but they're probably the first people that are getting help. So it's complex. It's a mixed bag. You're fighting your emotions all the time. So when I made that last vlog, I was just drained. It's really energy sapping listening to these stories and just having the patience. And it takes a lot out of you. It does, and I totally respect people that work with these people day to day on a daily basis. It must be really hard. Anyway, guys, so I'm bringing you this new vlog. I thought I'd articulate a wee bit more about what I was saying in my last videos. When I said flat Earth's dead, I didn't mean literally dead. The whole ideology of flat Earth, as long as people believe it, is going to last probably forever. Until we can get solid, concrete proof. It's like arguing with our pastafarian about the spaghetti monster. So this idea is going to last forever. What I meant when I said flat Earth was dead was the scene we're in. Well, the scene I'm inside. I'm watching the potatoes, the mechanics, Flat Earth British, Jeranism. They've all took a dip after Globebusters balloon, which was a flop, total flop. Patricia and Antonio splitting up. Adam Joseph just disappearing. Nathan Oakley just seems uninterested in his hangouts now. He had a hangout lately that was talking about the New Age. And it's funny because they had Martin on, and Nathan tried to explain that although we are going into a new age, into the age of Aquarius, astrologically we're going into a new age, but he says it seems to be hijacked by these new agers with these ideologies. And as soon as he said that, Martin started talking about the new age ideologies. It's pretty funny to watch, and I'm starting to feel sorry for them in a way. It's like a dying animal, a wounded animal on the side of the road. Do you put it in its misery, or do you drive by and leave it in pain? It's one of these things. So when I said flat Earth was dead, I meant that. I meant in this scene, the whole momentum of the New Age and all this rubbish that we're trying to push. It's just all collapsed on itself. It's just got too much. There is still videos getting pumped out all the time, but it's no by the big names. Like the big names were pumping out stuff every day. It just went boom, collapsed on itself. So that's what I meant. I wanted to address mindfulness. He made one vlog where he was asking me to explain myself, because when I said space isn't fake, I look up at the stars and the moon and I see these things, and he says, well, that could be your eyes tricking you, and they could be, but my reality, the way I see reality, is in 3 dimensions. And when I look at, well, it's up to you. Do you want to believe what you look up at is 2-dimensional? If you want to believe it's 2-dimensional, well, that's a different conversation. But when I look up at the sky, I look at it as a 3-dimensional space. Because when I look at objects up there, they look like they hold a 3-dimensional space. They look like they have the X, Y, Z axis. Like when I look up at Saturn and I see the ring around it, to me, that looks 3-dimensional. It could be an illusion, but to me, it looks 3-dimensional. When I look up at Jupiter and I see its moons going around, it's got over 20 moons, but you can see the 3 biggest ones. And you can see the sunlight on them as well, the shadow, and to me, they hold 3-dimensional space. And even the moon, even when we look up at the moon, we only see one side of it, so although it looks circular, it could be an oblate spheroid, like squashed, and we could be looking at the bottom of it. So it could be flattened. It might not be totally spherical, it might be flattened, and we're looking, and we only see that one side. It might be. But at the end of the day, when you see the craters, the shadows, the light, it's a 3-dimensional object holding 3 dimensions in space, which is reality. When Beyond the Curve and guys like Mindfulness talk about, like, they talk about like space is 2-dimensional. They talk about people being globe-minded, globe thinking. Well, globe thinking means you're thinking in 3 dimensions. Flat earthers want to think in 2 dimensions. As I've explained before, 2 dimensions doesn't exist in reality. Only exists on a, like, right now you're watching me. It's 2-dimensional. I'm not really in the room. I'm not here. It's just a representation of me. When you look at art, when you look at people in the art, when you look at the Mona Lisa, she's not really there. It's just a representation of her. It's flat. It's 2-dimensional. It's not real. But when I look up at the sky and I see what I've just mentioned, to me, these things hold a 3-dimensional area in space, which is reality. When you talk about things in 3 dimensions, you're talking about reality. When you talk about stuff in 2 dimensions, you're talking about illusion. You're talking about stuff that doesn't exist in reality. So, globe thinking, it's not globe thinking. It's called 3-dimensional thinking. Flat thinking is thinking on 2 dimensions, which isn't reality. So natural science, if you want to talk about it's not natural science, because I've used my observational. I've watched the stars, I've watched the planets, and I've came to the conclusion that they hold 3 dimensions in space. Whether what that space is, I don't know. But to me, they're 3-dimensional, so they're real. Whether they're as close as the powers that be say they are, I don't know. The Jupiter might not be as big as they say, it might be a lot closer and a lot smaller. But they're there. And flat earthers want you to think that it's just some kind of projection or illusion, but they're there. To me, they're there. So when Mr. Britam used the analogy of my wife, which was quite disgusting, and they're all laughing about it and Beyond the Curve's comments and that, but he could have used any analogy. It was just a passive-aggressive crap, just to bring my wife in it, trying to insult me. But if they want to think in 2 dimensions, well, they can think it's not a flat earth anymore, it's a flat realm. And like I said, the word plane in Greek is deceit, lie. Now they're talking it's a flat realm. So you'll hear this a lot now. They're talking that the flat earth isn't a flat earth, it's a flat realm. And realms don't exist in reality, once again. They've took it that even step further. 2 dimensions wasn't enough, so now it's a realm. It's something that it's in dream world. So that's what I meant when I say that space, to me, isn't fake. And it can be fake to you if you want it. You can listen to Jerry Nism's cheesy songs going, space is fake, space is fake. But to me, space isn't fake, because space is what's around the three-dimensional object in reality. So you can think space is fake. I think it's even more wondrous to think that these are three-dimensional things up there. And God knows what they could be. If there is terra firma, if it is gas, if it is light, if it is some kind of combustion, who knows? But what I do know is they're up there. In my reality, they're up there. So, Beyond the Curve and Mindfulness, they had a Skype hangout thing. It was so edited and cut. And to me, they were just stroking each other's egos. And the way that flat earthers get on this high horse where they think they're on a consciousness, and this word consciousness, it's so overused by the new age, and they think that they're on a level so high above everybody else, and that's so narcissistic. It's so narcissistic, and they talk about ego, they talk about character. Why do you have to keep pointing at characters? But why have they made, Beyond the Curve has mentioned my name at least 3 or 4 times in his last 5 or 6 videos. So, to me, he's pointing me out as a character, and he's pointing at logical fallacies at me, but isn't he contradicting his own words by aiming for me? Guys like Jed know what I mean, and it's like, he says it all the time now. So, what's his game? And Mindfulness is just stroking his ego, he's just nodding, agreeing with everything he said. And what I like about you, and Beyond the Curve just lapped it up, and they think they're on a high level. And we're globe thinkers, we think globe-minded. But globe-minded is 3 dimensions. If you want to think flat, you can think in 2 dimensions. So that's what I think about that. I just hope that people will see the sense eventually. And I'll still be around to keep an eye on everything, but when I say flat earth is dead, it's like a winded animal right now. I just want to address Barbie McGill. I didn't take any offence. Like I said, I've not got any emotional attachment to this thing. And I've tried to explain that to Beyond the Curve. I've never been emotional during my hangouts, during my vlogs. I try to explain myself in a logical way. Maybe I'm not always right. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm kind of just reacting to the videos that get made about me as well. Because it's not me just making videos about people. Type in Jed Skeptic Media and you'll see lots of videos of people making videos about me. So, and I'm just one guy on my own. And I'm not a glober or not flat. I didn't feel that I sit with the globers and agree with everything they say, because I don't agree with everything that these globers say. I don't agree in the moon landings and all that rubbish. And the flat earthers, they're garbage as well. I don't agree with what they're saying. I'm kind of sitting on my own here. And I've got my own reality, I've got my own versions of reality, and it's like I said, I'm not saying it's the truth and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm trying to articulate myself and explain my feelings to you guys, and if you can resonate with that, that's fair enough, but if you can't, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Anyway guys, like I said, I'm just waiting till it's dark. I've got my last night of filming, and hopefully I can just wrap this up now. I have total respect for people that work with homeless people and vulnerable people on a day-to-day basis, because it's hard work. It is, and you're fighting a losing battle, because some people, it doesn't matter how much you help them, they can't help themselves, and that's why things like anarchy and stuff like that, it can't work in reality, because there's people out there that need to be told what to do by some kind of government or something. This government, they've obviously they're trying. The homeless people are telling me that there's people on the streets trying to get them off the streets, and it's just not good enough sometimes for some people. They're too comfy. Anyway guys, hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to get going, and just take care. See you later.